Got a real quick update here. Richard Hart tweeted, everyone, 15 minutes ago or so. I've been told in the chat, I've done more for Ethereum than you have. Tag someone who also did good for ETH. Congrats, ETH, on new all-time highs. It's been 1,382 days. The ships come in at 200K free electronic devices will very soon be spreading the good word about ETH, PulseChain, PulseX, and HEX. Free open source software is the future of finance. Peer-to-peer, digital, immutable truth. Ooh, hot alpha bombs there. Trust in math, not men. The PulseChain train is coming. Look at that train. Look at that train.
Smashing resistance. That's what that is.
Smashing. I like it. I like it a lot. And you notice everyone's going to point out he did not mention ETH again. He's replaced ETH with, or sorry, did not mention INK again. He's replaced INK with ETH. His new core token is ETH. Welcome, everyone. Breaking news. INK is out. ETH is in. That's what that means. That's what I got from it. Oh, good stuff. Richard tweeted, everyone. That's what we.
Great. That's great. I was gonna tag Gavin Wood for losing a whole lot of money in Ethereum, because I think if he didn't lose all that cash, the Polkadot shit so early on, we wouldn't have, like, people wouldn't feel like it's as immutable as it is. So, you know, cheers to him for not only making Ethereum, but then also losing a shit ton of money and
making a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Sacrificial
Polkadot sounds like a thing.
Yep.
Yeah, didn't Polkadot go down? I think that's one of the ones that went down like 97%. There's a very
went down a lot. It was I mean, it did end up launching and everything, but their initial like deployment of it, like there was a line of code wrong and they lost like $40 million or something like that. It was locked for. Oof.
I think it came up in a debate the other day. We're like, oh, Hex is down, but did you see Polkadot? There we go.
Yeah.
Polkadot. Thank you for a back pocket Polkadot.
That's right.
All right, gents. Feel free to talk about the good old days. Hex, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good old days.
Good old days.
I feel like
I belong on this panel, guys. I wasn't around in the good old days. I'm not an OG.
The only one around.
Yeah, I came in during the PulseX sacrifice. That's where I even missed the PulseChain sacrifice.
Well, you know, I feel like we're gonna get a lot of the feels of the good old days over the next, 6, 8, 10 months or so, so I'm excited for everyone else to get to feel some of what we got to enjoy over the first.
Well, we definitely had the flood and the bear market that Hex got right in the beginning, right? Like I got to go through that with you guys, so I feel like.
Oh yeah, that's the thing is I felt like the first time around that we weren't, like, I was like, man, it couldn't, like, no one else is gonna get to feel the pain that we got to feel over the first, getting the hate that we got for as long as we did. But then, the bear market was longer. It's been longer than we expected. And a lot of people have gotten to feel the pain,
Would you say that the pain was equal to when Hex was experiencing his first FUD, bear market?
No, we definitely, no. Like early on, there was just nobody here. So like I didn't know what I was doing, like if it wasn't for, RG down here, if it wasn't for RG, it wasn't for Hexo doing their regular streams, like I'm almost sure I would have sold, but and not made the stakes that I made and not nearly as had the bags that I did if it wasn't for the little bit of community that we started to form early on. Because there was no cool songs, there was no awesome graphics,
there wasn't 160 influencers.
There was none of that.
Nobody. We'd have like 12 people show up at our streams, We'd be like, sometimes we'd have more people on stream than that we're watching.
Yeah. For real. That's for sure. And the hate of like the general hatred from crypto, like there was nobody had anything nice to say. It was crazy how like, I mean, you can find some niceness now along the way, some people who will play ball, but like nobody wanted to have, I mean, just straight block if you like brought up Hex, brought up Richard, and and it was, to me, it was such a dichotomy, because like on the one hand, like something that I like loved and respected and used very frequently, the Pirate Bay, would like put up a Hex referral link, like they were very much involved, or paying attention, like they're front of their website was a big Hex referral link for like the first, couple of 2-3 months, 4 months of Hexes, like with the referral, the first year of it. Like, I mean, like So on some hands you had that, and then on other hands you had everybody, and and so like you'd see people that would show up because like when this was during lockdown time, and so there's people that are showing up to protests with like HEX shirts on, getting on camera and things, and you're just like, man, did I see that? Did I just? This is like you could feel that there's something happening, but then on like you talk to anybody who was anything that had anything to do with crypto, and we were basically pariahs. We're like just
yeah.
Yep. It was definitely no love for the Hexicans. I mean, sometimes we just show up and they damn near be, calling the cops on us or banning us or
sort of banning us most of the time, and I mean, I lost groups of friends through like mining friends that I had in crypto because I was like, guys, this is like, I'm just trying to tell you there's something here to make it. Yeah. Oh
because
yeah. For
they
sure.
were Maxi's big K, or was it because they just hated HEX so bad?
They hated HEX so bad. They felt like it was such a scam because like they weren't Maxis. Because like, man, we mined everything. I mined cheese coin. I mined heart coin. I mined,
those guys it's crazy.
So like the idea that that was what was mind blowing to me. Is I was like, hey guys, this reminds me of like masternode kind of stuff, just like there's no like limit to it. You just kind of stake your stuff, but there's a time component, and they'd be like, nope, they wouldn't have anything to do with it. Like I said, I got removed from a couple, from one group that I was mining, like I was in forever. Like I've met these dudes in person, been on conferences with them and shit, and just like we basically don't exist. And like every now and then I'm like, hey guys, see how it did the thing, but they still are like that. Yeah. But it's like they believe that, anything that's not proof of work, they're even super, super like anti the changes that have happened to Ethereum,
Oh, so they don't like EVM. They don't like proof of
stake.
Well,
their money, their bread and butter is running machines to mine. So like that's hard for them to see the forest from the trees.
But there were general like crypto Telegram rooms that would talk about everything. But if you mentioned HEX in there, or if you came in with HEX on your tag, you're gone. Like they boot
immediately.
You.
Even though it was a shill room, an overall shill room of any shit token.
There. But if you were a Hexican, out of here, buddy.
We're not
around here.
We weren't welcome. It was a wild feeling, because it made me feel like I was on the right path, because like that's part of the whole, like I lean into those sort of situations where people are telling or whatever counterculture thing is going on. I'm like, oh, that's
the contrarian.
Well, now I'm more
play,
interested.
Right?
I don't know why, but now I want to see what's going on in there.
I wonder why when we finally won and beat them all and climbed to the top of the rankings without even being ranked, right? Dancing on graves and shit. I mean, it was like a victory. Finally, we got aided everywhere. I mean, you name it.
Yeah.
It was, so
yeah. But it was, and we weren't dancing on graves for like everyone else's benefit, because like again, it's not like we were just hexes up to it was 20 some odd cents when we were making that video. I mean, it was almost at the top of that video, and like when that happened, like nobody still accepted. It's not like all those guys in crypto were like, oh, they're so cool now, oh, we like them because they made money now. It's not that at all. We were just like thrilled, and it was cathartic for us to feel like, hey man, we didn't need any of that shit. We didn't need any of those dudes. They can all suck a dick, but like none of that help, like without their help whatsoever, and we look where we still are.
That's
fascinating.
So what blows my mind today is knowing crypto and being involved since 2014, seeing pump and dump rooms and scams and ICOs and all this shit. It's like, how in the fuck did we 10,000x with all the shit that came at us? I mean, there was nobody, nothing, no entity, no centralized exchange, no nothing that was leaning into HEX. It was just grassroots community out there getting blasted in the face and kicked every single day, and we still did a 10,000x. So I should tell everybody something and give you a hint and a half for your ass about what's to come, because it's a different climate now. It is a completely different climate.
Oh no, we've got like room to breathe. We've got like ways to grow the community. Like, I mean, there's so many more people that I feel like are starting to move into, and there's going to be everyone with the 401k that's going to become diligent about their crypto investments over the next, year to, couple of years. And so like all that, having all that energy, being able to be put somewhere to where there's a bunch of people like all of us that have been in the trenches doing the training ourselves and others on how all this shit works is awesome. It's awesome. We're really, it's just like another, oh man, who would have thought that having a sick ETH reserve is like the big thing now? Oh, well, Richard did. That's why he's got, who would have thought that, like there's so many of those, who would have thought? And then you're like, oh, he did actually. Like, so
I had no idea 2 years ago. And now it's like one of the biggest narratives in crypto. And Richard so happens to be one of the top.
Yeah, he was 2 years, a year and a half, whatever, early on that, and we didn't even realize it. In fact, people didn't realize it so much so that they just wanted to shit talk, about like his mediocre time to trade on in the whole matter. Which like whatever, like it's easy to do from your armchair.
Around that, everyone thinks he top blasted and was making a bad trade. Nah, I feel like because we all know DAI is not what DAI used to be.
Yeah,
and
he was making
back by USDC, they could shut that shit down. I feel like, and this is all speculation, I could be totally wrong, but I feel like he had to do the trade. He had to go.
He was one of the largest. He was one of the largest, if not the largest, DAI holder for a while there. So
he had to go somewhere, and why not ETH? Right, like that was like we know ETH can't be shut down. We know ETH is decentralized somewhat, right? I feel like
enough so that Red Notice or some other sort of silliness isn't going to have anybody freezing assets.
And so that's my speculation on it. I don't think he made a bad trade or he top blasted. No, I think he was.
Well, and even if he wasn't, calling the shot of ETH treasuries being the next thing, I mean, it still sure works serendipitously well. So like it's I mean, thrilling to see all that, and then now like this, now we've got an army of folks that are ready to evangelize, and like I mean, and ideally at the right time. We're
here for it,
the
man.
news today. You see, the green candles today. It's all going somewhere sometime soon. So.
Well, you also have to remember at that time it looked like ETH was going up to make its all-time highs and doing its little run. So you take the fact that it's kind of like you get on the train or get left behind, plus the counterparty risk stuff that Corey was talking about. It makes it the trade when it happened did make there is some logic behind it. It does make sense.
Oh yeah.
There is.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not here armchair quarterbacking anybody who's got to push in or out that big a stack of anything. I mean, it's just it's
you can't.
You do it at whatever level you're doing it at, and then 10x that, and it feels uncomfortable, and then 100x it or 1000x it, and like good luck, dog. Good luck making the right call, So I'm stoked with how it all has worked out, and from where we began all of this, like I said, some dreams to maybe hit a penny one day, is pretty impressive.
And now penny's FUD.
That's below us.
It's crazy, right? Yeah, man.
And yeah, I mean, like I said, it's funny how much how we were talking about this yesterday. How much we didn't really, just took it for granted the time and the FaceTime and knowledge gained from like accessibility really of Richard through all that time too. Like this. It was just something that I expected to it was a thing that was always going to be there, So like that I also really appreciate a lot of that, like I learned a ton from that I probably wouldn't have learned from rewatching old videos because I mean, when Richard would stream, it was like, I mean, he'd say something, hey, should I stream or whatever? And like, I it would be like, hey, I'm going to be busy for the next, 2-3 hours. Y'all going to have to deal with your own shit. Sorry.
Or 5-6 hours. Sometimes, like 8 hours, man. I was like, what the hell?
And that, whatever that was, like that, like I learned a lot and paid a lot of attention to it. And
I did too.
Things were stuff that was gone over multiple times, sometimes you'd be like, here goes Richard with the greatest hits here, and he'd go into greatest hits mode. But like, for me to, even now, sometimes now I like, I'll be repeating myself to somebody recently. I'm like, yeah, this is how usually the market cycle goes, Bitcoin, and then it's ETH season, and then he moves into like large caps, and then we'll see some kind of alt season. And like as I'm saying that to myself, to somebody else, I'm like, oh yeah, that is how it works. And like I haven't like vocalized it, in a little while. And when you do, you're like, it's reinforcing for my own self too. So it's not the same, but man, it's sure looking like it's gonna rhyme a lot, so
yeah, that's it.
I actually like the setup better. I mean, the setup is, we didn't know what the setup was before. It was just kind of seeing everything come to fruition. And now looking back at it with hindsight, you can go, okay, well, look how that materialized and how everything came together. And look at how things are materializing right now. And it's just like, wow, man, this is a different setup. The wind up here is way, way different, and the kinetic energy of the industry and the macroeconomic kinetic energy of, what's going on with the Fed and the interest rate stuff, the kinetic energy hold back on this market right now. I've never seen it this wound up, and ready to swing. It's badass.
It's remarkable how all the stars are aligning and everything's coming together here all at once. It's like, it's insane to me. Even like the timing with Richard's marketing campaign lining right up here with altcoin season. Was he doing that on purpose? Was he planning that the whole time? I don't know. But it's like I always say on my show, we're just in a freaking matrix. The script has already been written. We just got to lean in and play our part. You got to have faith, of course. But if you have the faith, lean and play your part, the future's already been written, man. I mean, that's the way I view it. So it's
don't question if you got the right idea. If you're here listening, and don't question yourself too hard. Believe in what you're doing, for sure. I remember last bull cycle right before HEX took off, like that Christmas, after first year, whatever, I got in this like super heated argument with a family member of mine who's a banker, got the full like crypto's a terrorist scam drug whatever, the full thing, and just from there till now and being like, well, they're gonna actually use it for all of Wall Street, so that's cool, it's amazing, it's really like like I said, you feel vindicated. You're like, all right, here, and to have the rails that we have, built ready to go for all this is awesome too. It's so well timed,
and it's all Jamie Dimon endorsed now.
Yeah. And he used to be like the meme. He was like, it's like it's like my Sailor too, Sailor being like Bitcoin's garbage at $2,000, and it's amazing at 20, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. No, it's way different. It's more wound up. The ease at which it can move forward now is just like, you could see it. We saw how it moved before. Like we would sit here on these streams 3, 4, 5 hours and dream of a penny. We did. We literally of a penny. If it cracks a penny, and that was moon math. Like people would say, "Oh, you're rocket ship man. You talking about moon math there. 1 penny, my ass." And popped a penny, 3 pennies, 12 pennies, 30 pennies. And it was just like, oh shit. You just don't know how fast this thing moves once it starts getting that kinetic energy going behind it. And it moves. So under your hat. I think we're in for a run here.
Songs were written about penny HEX. People were writing songs about it.
Yeah, we were. There were songs written about it. I jammed. I remember jamming those songs, being like, oh man, please. And it happened faster than I ever imagined. And then it's the typical. And remember Richard super early on being like, crypto can go way, 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 way higher than you could ever dream, but also like way, way, way lower than you could ever expect to. Until you feel that from like top to bottom, it's like hard to really like get that through to somebody's head. And you're like, no, lower,
Well, higher lows next time will definitely be good. I mean, low and at a penny, a half a penny. If that was what we thought, I mean, and then for it to sit at the dumps at the bottom of the bear market at what we were dreaming of at that time that's freaking success right there. Man.
It is. It's, I mean, just in the fact that like I said. Past few days too, that we're all here doing this stuff like we're still talking about this 5 years later and making it like, and it's still fun, engaging, interesting. I find new people that are engaging all the time that I want to do, I like to stream with. It's wild. It's got an amazing speculative stickiness that exactly as Richard, as designed,
The community does it, man. I mean, that's what stuck me around the long, why I'm here. I mean, it's the community that really bought me in. I mean, that's why I love this asset. And it's awesome.
And
it's remarkable how people will FUD HEX and say it's down 97, 99%, but they don't talk about how much it's up from the bottom, on the bottom of the bear. Like it was up, to your point, RG3, I think it's still up like an 80 to 100x from the absolute bottom, which is crazy. Like they don't talk about that.
No, nobody wants to hit that log button.
No.
And that's the thing. I mean, it's a cognitive dissonance that unless you've gone through the whole situation, you're like, when people talk that shit about it, I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I would feel it if this was the case, but I still feel like I'm pretty up. I still feel like I'm doing all right. So I don't know.
And I'm sitting up at night smoking my cigar. It doesn't feel too bad, to be honest.
No, it does. It does not. It does not. It could be better. I mean, I get it, and we're all working towards that, But man, it's not. But I agree. We're still, I'm still living a dream, and doing my best to hope that like other folks out there can actualize it, some of their own version of it too. I mean, that's what really got me and like to keep doing it all is when I started to feel that like man, it's everybody else should feel this too. It's real. It's intoxicating.
Yeah, it is. It is. And then, to have this community grow with all the new people that have come in, like you guys, for people who bought in from 3 cents to 56 cents, and to have this community grow with people like that, I mean, that's freaking fire, man. I mean, to have it grow probably faster than it grew when we were building it, the community, to watch it grow now up this bear market the way it has been with the people that are coming in and what they're doing. And it's just that's staying power right there. That's strong. And what's going to happen with that during another bull run is, man, there's just
10x community.
Yeah. Let's reinforce everybody even more. And like, there'll be a whole new wave of HEXCon graduates that'll be ready for their next, for the next 4 years of whatever happened, the next cycle.
That's it. I mean, my first buy on HEX was about 33 cents. That was my first buy. And
if you're buying at 33 cents, it's still pretty OG, dog. That's it feels like
it was painful, and we put a lot of money in there, but I DCA'd, and then of course I put most of my money in here at the lows. So now HEX is my biggest bag out of my entire portfolio, but like it didn't start that way for sure, right? Like I had to stick with it, and that was the hard part. But I'm ready for it now. So
nice.
That's me too, man. Me too.
And again, that's what like impresses me, gives me hope, makes me proud of like what me and Big K did in the beginning by gathering everybody that we could to just start streaming and talking and helping. And when you've done amazing shit in this community, both of you guys, and built like from buying at 33 cents, the stuff that you guys have done, the way that you guys have interacted, the way that you guys, you guys are proof that, hey, DCAing in on the way down.
Oh, powerful.
And how powerful.
So powerful.
You changed your entry point from 33 cents to, somewhere probably around 7, 6, 5 cents, something like that.
I think it's around 3 cents now. I think it's the last time I figured out, because my best buy was, and I attribute this to Dylan, Dylan, the famous fiat Dylan. Love that guy. And I think I told the story last one's on here, but he made this rap song right at HEX's bottom at decimal 0035. And I was doing my monthly DCA, and he got me a little euphoric with that rap song. So I put all my money in the HEX there at the bottom. I didn't know it was the bottom. I had no clue, right? I thought maybe I'm catching the falling knife. I have no idea, but it was the bottom. And so like, that's how now HEX is my biggest bag. But the power of DCA, man, it's incredible. People don't realize that. Like they feel like, here's the difference between SAC price and the bottom of like Pulse. Like if you go and you've only sacked and you're at decimal 0.001 and we do a 10x, great from the sack price. But if you bought the bottom, you get 100x. Like it is crazy the difference. And you don't got to go, put all in at the bottom. Like even like, so if you put 100 grand there at sack and you come in and put in a 510 at the bottom, I mean, that 510 doing 100x way surpasses your 100K that you put. It's powerful. People don't realize the power of DCA, man. And it's like, yeah, you got to sit down and kind of crunch the numbers, but it's crazy.
Yeah, no, and I'm super excited to see that power in like the full force and for everybody new like that has like, man, the fact that you've been live streaming and onboarding and killing it as hard as you have from 33 all the way down and back up and have that story to tell, because like I'll never have that story to tell of like I got into something at this rate and just believed all the way down. Like I was, like my story of like I Hail Married at the beginning, it's just very different,
We're the quadruple 0, 5, 6,
and like your story is like more powerful and more realistic overall. Like mine is not like I'm not like kids be like me. It's not what I'm telling you, but like your story, like yours is something that like everyone can get something out of that. And I want to see y'all's wins more so than mine this cycle around. Y'all y'all deserve it.
It teaches proper behaviors when it goes on the way down versus run to the hills, drop everything, sell everything, run to the hills, get out of this shit, it's going to zero. That's not the answer. The answer is, hey, here we go.
The opposite.
We're going to have 3 years to DCA in, and that's what you better do, because it's going to go up again. How much can you accumulate? And like, Tam, who just started her new stream, she's speaking the same thing. She's like, I invested here at the top, and oh, look, there she is. And, she DCA'd in, and she's hoping that the price stays down a little bit more so that she can accumulate more, and that's her message out there. And that's what has to be the reality of what's going on, because the next bear market, there'll be a narrative. There'll be there's a call to action. Hey, now it's time to get all your people who may have gotten in as it was going up to, start changing their entry price and dollar costing in for the next few years,
Yep.
What's up, Max? Are we getting hooked?
Are we getting yanked?
I'm just trying to manifest that 10,000X again. That's all. I'm just thinking real hard about it. Just thinking it.
10,000X from the bottom or from where we're at right now?
Wherever you want, man. Wherever you want. 14,000X.
Anywhere on the chart, man. I'll take it.
There is no reason why HEX cannot do another 10,000X from the top of the last cycle.
I couldn't even imagine.
Can't do that. Bitcoin has done 3 million X plus, whatever. And I mean, there's no reason why HEX can't. HEX is better. And we've always said that. We've been saying that for 5 years. It's proven itself to be that. So there's no reason why it can't. It's just the narrative in crypto is false news. Fake news. They're not speaking the truth. Problem is those big guys bought the bags of the shit that's out there. They bought the shit coin. Bitcoin is the shit coin, and they got a bunch of it. So it's going to be just getting around skirting that.
That's a great shirt. Bitcoin is the shit coin.
I wonder about that next cycle. Like, I wonder if the Bitcoin leading the way narrative is going to be the same thing next cycle. I mean, it has been each time, but it'll be interesting to see. We'll have to wait and find out.
Slop, if HEX does a 10,000X, will you go full-time crypto?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. You show it to me first, Corey, and then we'll find out. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Well, revisit this. Sloth is a civil servant. Okay, he fixes teeth. We can make all the money in the world. Teeth still need to be fixed. So
he's a full-time
crypto. He doesn't need to get too rich. Do not get too rich.
I'm telling you.
We need.
Corey's trying to talk. Yeah, go ahead.
Stream. I just want to throw a shout out to Hex Kong in the chat room. He was like, from day one in the old hex.com chat room with Kurkowski, myself, and the old days where we were like, we were trying to help save everybody from going to the Telegram rooms where they doxed Richard Hart and put his ID and any record. on live, and I mean it was insane. It was literally insane.
Oh,
so
yeah, he's been
one of the OGs.
Serious. Well, thank you so much for having us, man. It's been super fun.
Of course, there's a hex panel later on.
It's really cool to do like an OG hex like the olden days talk, but like still there's so much fun shit to talk about that's coming that like we ended up talking mostly about the bullishness that it is. So that's
actually